It's 1932. Deep in the Australian outback, trench-hardened combat veterans are besieged by a highly organized invading force, 20,000 strong. Facing total destruction of their territory, these veteran farmers send an urgent plea to the government. They need heavy military hardware. The Minister of Defense responds immediately. He orders professional artillerymen to the front lines, equipped with automatic weapons and a massive stockpile of ammunition. But the hostile army waiting for them in the dust is a massive flock of flightless birds. The result was a month-long wildlife management operation where a professional artillery unit was bested by the erratic behavior of emus. After World War I, the government granted returning veterans parcels of marginal land in Western Australia's wheat belt to grow crops. But during a severe drought, inland water sources dried up, forcing massive populations of emus to migrate westward directly into these agricultural zones. The emus found the perfect oasis. In their rush for food and water, they trampled the perimeter fences protecting the farms, allowing waves of devastating agricultural pests, like the rabbits seen in this historic photo, to flood the land. In response, the government dispatched Major G.P.W. Meredith with 2 machine guns, 10,000 rounds of ammunition, and even a Fox Movietone cinematographer. Minister Pierce approved the deployment to serve 2 purposes: providing target practice for his soldiers and appearing active in the eyes of the struggling settlers. The campaign officially begins on November 2, 1932. Major Meredith and his men deploy near Campion to intercept a flock of roughly 50 emus. This technical image shows the Lewis gun they brought to the fight. It is an automatic weapon built specifically to mow down dense, slow-moving masses of human infantry caught in the trenches. But emus do not behave like human infantry. At the sound of gunfire, the birds scattered in erratic zigzags, running at up to 50 kilometers per hour. The heavy, static machine guns couldn't track them. 2 days later, the military thought they had the perfect ambush. They waited by a local watering dam until a flock of nearly 1,000 emus gathered in close range. The soldiers opened fire. Barely a dozen birds fell before the primary Lewis gun jammed completely, allowing the massive flock to vanish into the brush. Weapons optimized for the battlefields of World War I were entirely neutralized by the unpredictable speed and evasion of native wildlife. As operations continued, the emus adapted. This schematic shows how they responded to pressure. Instead of clustering, they splintered into tiny units. Notice the pulsing dot. Baffled soldiers reported tall lookout birds stood watch to signal the flock to scatter. When the soldiers did manage to hit their targets, the birds displayed absurd physical resilience. Farmers and military personnel noted that emus could absorb multiple direct gunshot wounds and still easily outrun military trucks. Major Meredith reported a final tally of 986 emus killed. This number is widely disputed, however, as it reflects a suspiciously perfect ratio of exactly 10 rounds of ammunition for every bird destroyed. Meredith himself later admitted that brute force was useless against this kind of decentralized swarm, stating the emus could face machine guns with the invulnerability of tanks. On December 10th, the military officially packed up their heavy weapons and retreated from the wheat belt in utter defeat. The public fallout was immediate. Members of the Australian Parliament openly mocked the operation, jokingly suggesting that the emus should be awarded medals for their victory. The government quickly pivoted to a much simpler civilian bounty system. By paying local farmers for each bird they culled, the program eliminated 57,000 emus in just 6 months during 1934. But the long-term solution required infrastructure, not ammunition. As seen in this photograph, the government eventually constructed hundreds of miles of heavy wire mesh exclusion fences to physically block the migration routes. A problem that completely humiliated a professional artillery unit was finally solved by giving locals a clear economic incentive and building passive physical defenses. Despite the conflict, the undefeated bird maintained its national status. This close-up of the Australian coat of arms shows the emu standing proudly right alongside the kangaroo. Major Meredith's staggering cost-to-kill ratio highlights why some experts compare the emu campaign to drone swarm warfare. An expensive interceptor is often powerless against a swarm of cheap, scattered targets. It stands as a perfect example of how historical events are often much stranger and much funnier than fiction. Follow Oops History for more interesting history stories and fascinating content from the past.